I think we've all been bamboozled. We've all been befuddled, guys. Whoever told us that we need to give 100% all the time is a damn lie. So this video, I'm going to give us some reason why giving 100% of effort does not work. Reason number one, we ain't got it, okay? We don't have the 100% to give, and that is okay. We are in a generation where we are inundated with news, social media, people, jobs, scrolling, advertisement, to where it's really a war on our attention. So we're already so scattered in the mind. So if we're scattered in the mind, we're scattered in the body, we're scattered in the soul. So that doesn't even leave us, mathematically speaking, with 100% to give to anything. Right? So here we are internalizing this and beating ourselves up and saying to ourselves like, oh my gosh, I'm not trying enough, or I'm never going to be this, or keep failing at that. No wonder why you keep failing at it. Your attention is scattered. There's a war for your attention. And I think it's not fair for us to sit up here and say that unless I give 100%, I give it my all, then I didn't try, or it's not worth it. No, I'm talking to the people who give 10%, who give 1% on their worst days or their best days. Because guess what? The cumulative effect of giving 1% each day, it compounds and it makes something. We have to understand that scattered seeds still grow. It doesn't have to be a thing where we are doing so much labor and it's so difficult, backbreaking work, or we're going after something. We're trying to write that book, make that YouTube channel like me, or climb the corporate ladder, or whatever it is that you're aspiring toward. Don't ever talk down on yourself or be down on yourself just because you're not giving all you've got. Now, for me in my own life, I make sure my bar is low, okay? My bar for success is low. And I put it that way, not because I'm lacking in self-worth, self-esteem, but because I'm meeting myself where I'm at. I know what it is. I'm not going to be at the gym 5 days a week. You will never catch me nowhere 5, 6, 7 days a week. I just don't have it in me. I'm not the type who can do that. And I accept that and I respect that. So therefore, I set the bar low. I will only say to myself, you know what, Alyssa? If we get in there twice this week, great job. You almost turned around when you got here, but instead you went in and got on the treadmill and that was your whole workout. Fantastic. Because all that's doing is teaching myself that, wow, I can still have or hit certain milestones. I can still make progress, even if I'm not going all out. Now, this video isn't an attempt to chastise anybody who goes all out. And I'm sure you get results that way. Of course, you're putting forth as much effort as possible. But what we're talking about is sustainability. And 100% is not sustainable at all times, even in relationships. Both partners need to be giving 100, but guess what? You're not going to be at 100 all the time. Neither is your partner. Sometimes you're going to have 50 and your partner got 10. Or you have 90, your partner has to have the 10. Somebody has 5%, the other has to have 95%. It's all a balance. And we have to meet ourselves where we're at, because if we try to shoot for these lofty goals, or we try to say, you know what, I'm going to do this and I'm going to be that and it's going to be fantastic and I got the schedule set out. How many times have you created a schedule, friend, where you saw your week just pass by and it's like, oh my God, I've done nothing. So we have to look at that and say, you know what, it's okay. I don't have to subscribe to this team no sleep, or I'm working my ass off and I need to suffer this much in order for me to have some level of success, because it's simply not true. How many times have you done that and have gotten no results? So now it's time to shift our perspective a little bit, shift up the strategy a bit. And the strategy can be more helpful if you lower the standard. I know it doesn't sound the best to lower your standards, but instead meet yourself where you are. Because one thing about meeting yourself where you are is not only does it build consistency, but it builds confidence. Because maybe you've never ever seen yourself meet yourself where you're at. So therefore your confidence is lower than it needs to be. So if you say, you know what, instead of going to the gym 7 days a week, like I have on my little calendar here, my little planner, what if I just go once a week and I just do that for the next 6 months? What that's going to do to you mentally, psychologically, is say, you know what, actually I could do 2 days this week. I think I can do it. And then you do 2 days and then you do 3 days and then you go back down to 1. But after 6 months, you see that, oh my gosh, I've been really consistent with this regimen. And that's how I did it. Since July, I was like, let me just at least walk. I could walk once a week, right? And ever since July, I have not taken off 1 week from physical activity, whether it be walking or at the gym. And it all started because I set my sights low. I lowered my gaze, right? Like I was not trying to take over the world. And now after maybe 6, 7, I don't know how many months it's been, but I'm seeing little differences in my body, in my mind. And I always had this thought that like, if I don't give it all and I'm not, I don't see biceps popping and I got my traps popping in 4 weeks, then you're not doing the right thing, because everything comes quick, right? No, it doesn't. We can't let this generation make us feel like just because it's a popcorn generation or everybody's so fixated with instant gratification, everybody wants everything to happen so quickly. We can't get hypnotized by that. We have to remember, listen, this is a process. And I have to respect myself and my journey enough to know that processes take time. And it's like time is such a trigger word. And it used to be, I used to hate the word time when I used to want to hit a goal. It's like, it's going to take 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. Guess what? 2 years. The 2 years going to pass by anyway. And then when you look back, you're either going to have it or you're not. So 2 years from now, 6 months from now, 3 months from now, it's still going to be that same amount of time. So you'll either hit whatever goal or you won't. So there's no such thing as time. Don't even factor the time thing in, because it's just putting more undue pressure on us, and it's constantly making us feel incapable. Because the more and more we're faced with us feeling like we're running out of time, the more and more defeated we feel. And that's not the place that we want to be in as we're trying to build ourselves up. So this video is here to tell you today, don't put in 100%. Don't even put in 50. Try to put yourself at 30% each day. What does 30% effort look like for you? In what arena of your life are you trying to make progress? And what does 30% effort look like for you? Maybe that's your best days. Maybe that's all you got on 30%. Great. But on your worst days, what does your 5% look like? Does that look like maybe just sleeping? Does that look like maybe just making one meal? Or does that look like maybe taking a walk around the block and calling and checking off your day? That's what we need to do. We need to meet ourselves where we are. If a kid is a little baby and they're walking and they're falling and they're walking and they're falling, we don't chastise that kid. Oh my God, you fell. They just keep going. We meet them where they're at. They can't walk yet. They can't run yet. So why would I put demands on that little child and try to make them run a sprint? That's just not where they're at. So we have to kind of reparent ourselves and nurture ourselves in that way and say, I'm not there yet. If I was there, I'd be there. If it was easy for me to be in the gym 7 days a week and become extremely successful in whatever arena I want to be successful, I would have been there. There's a reason why I'm not. And part of that reason could be due to you setting too high or too lofty of expectations for yourself or for a self that does not exist just yet. You can absolutely turn into that person, let's be clear. But you need compassion to get there. And compassion sounds like lowering your gaze, meeting yourself where you're at. So let me know down below if this video helped you at all. I like my little Gem and Juice series where I drop my gems before I go to the gym as I drink my juice. This was put on my heart today, so I hope that this was really helpful for you guys. Please comment below, and shout out to all my new subscribers. I'm so excited. We're going up. This channel is going up. Do you hear me? Okay, it's going to be a whole movement. I'm not going to say too much, but we're definitely doing our big one, and I thank you guys so much for subscribing, and I will see you tomorrow.